Hey people, you found the Hillbilly Voodoo channel. Well, today's new bike day for me. Well, I guess not new bike day, but new bike day to me. This here is a 2000 KLR I just picked up. Was kind of looking for something that I could go bombing around in the bush and ride to the trails on the highway, so this is what it is. Now, I'm really not digging this kid with a can camo job that's going on here, so I'm gonna have to change it. It's either gonna be really bright or it's gonna be really dark. Can't be this, whatever this is. So let's strip her apart and see if we can make this slightly less hillbilly ghetto. So as you can see, whoever painted this thing last really probably didn't sand it at all, and just more or less it feels like they sprayed over the top of the dirt. Really didn't do much of a job doing it, so gonna take it off, clean it up. We're not doing no beautiful paint job here. We're just trying to get rid of this, whatever this camouflage type thing is going on here, and make it a different color that I can actually stand riding. I was going to paint it pink, like my favorite color, and somebody told me I shouldn't do that, but well, we'll find another really bright color and we'll definitely black out the parts that are going to need to be probably repainted after I stuff this thing in the dirt a few times. So let's get to her. Got most of the plastics off now, and they're in the shop here. You can see the paint, or I wouldn't even really call it paint. Paint sticks to stuff. I don't know what this. But anyways, we got 320 sandpaper here. We're gonna break all this paint off of here with the 320. If you're ever working with plastics, you're gonna be tempted to, if you're stripping them, you're gonna wanna go to like an 80 grit or something like that to strip the paint. But in the past, I've found that if you use really coarse stuff, it ends up messing up the plastics, and the paint doesn't lay down, the new paint doesn't lay down very well. So 320 takes a little bit more to actually get the old paint off if you're stripping it all the way down, but it leaves a better finish in the long run. It actually saves you a lot less time. You spend a little bit more money on the actual sandpaper, which is one thing that I actually do spend money on, is sandpaper. It's kind of one of those things that I haven't really found an alternative. I guess I could rub it with sand and rocks and stuff, but that's not really going to give me a finish that I want. So sandpaper is something that you do have to spend money on. So I'll start whacking away out of here with the orbital sander, and we'll get this fender cleaned up and see what it's going to look like with some actual paint on it. Well, we finally got our plastics to a paintable state now. The whole idea of just sanding it down with some 320 and painting it kind of went out the window after about the third piece of paper that plugged up instantly. Whatever the dude painted this with last was not any type of paint product that I've ever come across. It was kind of like the consistency of roofing tar and possibly polyurethane bed liner. Wherever it stuck to that plastic, it stuck to the point where I actually had to scrape it off with a razor blade because it would not come off with sandpaper. And anywhere else that it didn't stick, it just fell off like it was not even supposed to be there. Well, it probably wasn't supposed to be there. Anyways, we got her all scraped down there, and then I ended up having to wet sand it with 400 grit to take all the gouges that were previously in there out, and all the gouges that I put in with the razor blade out. So we got some panels here. Hopefully that whatever that stuff was hasn't permeated into the plastic and won't allow new paint to stick. Well, that's what I'm hoping anyways. But so enough of the whining here. We'll squirt some paint on these things and see what they end up looking like. Well, there's the finished product. managed to get all those plastics cleaned up enough that the paint stuck to them. There's a few fish eyes in some spots, but I'm, well, sort of satisfied with it. I picked key lime green for the tank just so that people can actually see the bike and not crash into me, or, well, at least give them a target to crash into. Don't know if I'm totally digging the color. I might end up stripping that down again and actually painting it pink like I was going to in the first place. But that's her. Looks slightly less hillbilly duck boat than it used to. If you're liking this motorcycle type content, then you guys should, well, leave me a thumbs up or leave some comments or something, because yeah, I got a lot of motorcycles and I do a whole hell of a lot of motorcycle work. So if you guys want to see that stuff, you got to let me know. And I will be building all kinds of accessories for this bike because I don't really enjoy purchasing things. I'd rather build them. So if you guys want to see all that kind of thing, subscribe, comment, all that good YouTube stuff. So I think I'm going to throw some plates on this thing and go for a ride. So until next time, use what you got to make what you want. Have a good one.